G'day. It's number 2, episode number 2 of the Maserati budget build. Today I'm working on the spindles, replacing the bearings, seals, repacking them with grease. I've already done this one. Worked out alright. A few little troubles, but I've figured those out now. So hopefully this one goes nicely and smooth. Here's this one. Look at that. Look how disgusting that grease is. Ugh, awful. Okay. Could have been in there since it was new. I'm going to go through the tools I've got here. Today my handy pointer is a nice blunt punch. I've got various tools I'm going to use to press these bearings in and out. A persuader, a more serious persuader, a pointy persuader, vise, and I'm in the workshop today, so I've got access to a few tools like a linisher and polishing wheel and a hydraulic press, so that's going to make a few jobs a bit easier today. So we're going to start with the pushing these, well actually I'm going to start with getting the seal out, because that's a fun job. I'm going to use a little trick that people like to use for main bearing seals. So we're around here, I don't know if you can see that at the moment, trying out this GoPro setup to see if we can get some POV action. Nothing too risque. Yeah, so we're going to chuck this in the seal and then use that to lever it out, because we don't care about this seal anymore. I've got a brand new one. Maybe I should have a look at those parts first. So this is just an LM style set of bearings for a Holden hub. I bought these from Repco. I think it was about $30 on sale, so not too bad. And they're exactly the same part numbers as the ones in here. These are Timken ones. These are unknown, but they were cheap, and that's the name of the game for this build. So got them, 35 bucks. Seal on eBay. I was impatient with this one, so I just bought them on eBay instead of getting them down the road at the bearing shop. But there's the size that you need, 2.5 by 1.75 by 0.31 inches. That's all your bits you need. I've got nuts and stuff at home, so we'll have a little bit of a look at that a bit later today. Okay, so I think this is good. Anyone can see what's going on here? My GoPro phone as well, because I can see what I'm doing. Look at that. So now I've got a nice little, probably not a bit too far, point of leverage to get this seal out. Go this way. Whoa, there it goes. Look at that, and far out. Look how dirty that is. Okay, got heaps of rags. Gross. In the bin. Yeesh. It's a lot of grease. I'm gonna grab a rag. I'm gonna get these tools here. Okay. Bring it this side, sorry. Just go. Oh, get it up. Be. Nice. Okay, so whoever designed these has been really kind and has given us two little openings on the inside there. We can knock a punch in to remove the bearing. So punch, hammer, Sides. It's gone. Gone forever. Ugh, grease. Grease is so gross. Ugh. Okay. Flipping over. Find the notch. That's out. Look at my hands already. Oh, gross. There she is. And the bin she goes. Alright, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time to clean this up, because we want the cleanest possible start. Get all this old gunk out of here. This looks like it's had a bit of water in there, maybe. It's, you know, it's a little bit of rust, maybe. I don't know. Take some glasses. Good. Right. It's looking pretty nifty. Okay, wash my hands. Time for some gloves. Okay. It's time to get surgical. Bearings, as described before, these are the numbers you want down here. Oh yeah, that's what you want. Okay, spheroid for motor vehicle wheel bearings operating at high temperatures. I mean, we're going to get to Mark 2 on this thing, so first step is the two races. We're just going to grease a little bit on the inside face, just enough to make assembly nice and easy. So we'll do the larger race first, why not? And just a little bit on the outside here. I'm going to make sure I don't get grease on this camera. What I've done is I've taken one of the old bearing races and just knocked it down on the linisher on the OD, so I can use that as a tool for pressing this bearing in. Wasn't so successful the first time because I didn't knock enough off the first time, so it got stuck behind the new bearing race, and the pocket for the bearing here is deep enough that it actually captured the next one. So anyway, I've learnt my lesson, hopefully. I'll line that up. Easy does it. And then we're going to go with this bit of scrap aluminium to just press it in as far as we can at the moment, and then I'll line it up with this, and we'll go from there. So over to the press we go. Okay, that gets in some of the way. But not all the way. So we just got to go a little bit more. And that's where this other bearing comes in. That's hopefully been modified successfully. I need to figure out these angles for the POV shots of the press a little bit better, don't I? There we go. That's one side. I hope we can get this race out. Haha! Look at that. Okay, we're in. We're in. Time to do the other side. Stoked with that. So good. Woo. Okay. Time for the other side. A little bit of grease. How good's this GoPro? I get 2 hands free to do my work. I'll get better at it, I'm sure. Okay. So for this one, I've just got a piece of 40mm diameter tube, which is just under the outside, so that'll work perfectly. Alright, back to the press we go. Heaps of pressure. Look at that. How good is that? Okay. Time for some more grease. Now we're going to pack some bearings now. This is the fun bit. Everyone loves packing bearings. I'm going to start with the big end. And I don't have a grease packer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it by hand. The easiest way to do this is to get some grease on your palm and start from the big end into the grease. Just scrape it. Keep scraping until you start seeing the grease come up through the rollers on the smaller side. So just going to keep doing this until it does that. Yep. Look at this stuff. Jeez. Didn't take that long, but I'm just basically all that grease is now in the bearing. Didn't take long at all, did it? First time I did it from the other end and it took ages. So don't do it that way. That's ready to drop in. I'm gonna fill it with grease afterwards, okay? So don't freak out. Put some on that face. And I'm gonna sort out bugger. Covered in gloves. Okay. I'll pack this one first. and then I'll put the seal in this side, because the seal retains this cage, this inner bearing, but on the opposite side it does not. This grease. Gross. You can see it coming through as I go, so that's how we know that there's enough grease in there. Look at all that. Alright, I'll leave that there for now. Oh, gotta ditch the gloves. Oh, this is not a wise move. There we go. Minimal grease transfer. Okay. Seal. I'm going to get a small amount of grease. Just put it on the outside face of this. There's plenty on the hub already. And I'll get my little tool. Sit that there for now. There we go. Plonk that on there. So that suits that outer diameter. And use the soft hammer just to tap it in evenly until it's seated all the way. I'm pretty solid. Happy with that. What's that? Flip it over. And now, I need my bloody gloves again. So, you can do this more efficiently than me in terms of gloves, but it's now time to pack her in there. I've got to the, can't really reach the end of that anymore, so I'm going to go for, is that a danger? Probably. I'm just going to squeeze it up here. Oh, check that out. Oh, oh. Okay. Oh. And just fill her up. Ha. The idea being that you're all the way to the inner race. God. Probably easier ways to do this. This is my first time doing this, so any lesson I'm learning, you're learning as well. Well, the other way around, you know what I mean. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Fuck yeah. And now. So, I don't want to see too much light. I'll take some of this and just put it in around the seal here, so that that's nice and slippy. Alright, pop it in there, and she's done. Look at that. How good is that? 2 hubs, all greased up, ready to go.